Hello and welcome to YQ Academy Tutorials. Today, we will cover top 27 core Java interview questions and answers for beginners. Number 1. What is Java? Java is a high-level programming language used to build and develop many software applications ranging from small to large scale. It is an object-oriented programming language and has constantly evolved since its inception. The diagram shown shows why Java is written once and run everywhere. Java is a compiled programming language, but rather than compile straight to executable machine code, it compiles to an intermediate binary form called JVM bytecode. The bytecode is then compiled or interpreted to run the program. Number 2. State some common features of Java. The following are some uses of Java. It is simple and comfortable to use. It comes compiled and interpreted. It is platform independent. It is object-oriented. It is robust in nature and eliminates errors at the time of runtime. It is secure. It is dynamic. It is extensible. Number 3. Why is Java called an independent language? Java programming language is developed in a manner where it is independent of any external hardware or software. This is because the compiled code in Java is a bytecode that can run on any and every operating system. The program is written in a language, a source code that can be read by humans, and the compiler translates it into the executable code that the machine understands. Number 4. Is Java purely an object-oriented language? No, Java is not a pure object-oriented language. A pure object-oriented language is a language that treats everything within the program as objects. This is not the case with Java because it supports all primitive data types such as float, characters, long, booleans, and integers and considers them as non-objects. Another reason why Java is not purely an object-oriented language is that a declared static class can be usable without taking the support of an object. We can also communicate with the objects without calling their actual methods. Number 5. How is Java different from C++? Following are the main differences between Java and C++. C++ is a platform-dependent language, and Java is not. C++ requires the compilation of code, and Java doesn't. C++ codes are not portable, as they need to be compiled on each platform, while Java doesn't. The management of memory in Java is in control of the system, but C++ allows the user to allocate or deallocate memory manually. C++ is compatible with most of the other programming languages, but Java isn't. Number 6. What is a Java virtual machine? The runtime engine, which allows the source code into an executable machine language, is called Java Virtual Machine. It is termed virtual because of its abstract implementation in software on top of a real operating system. It allows the program compiled to be portable and used on any platform, and it consists of both the compiler and the interpreter. Number 7. What is a Java Development Kit? Java Development Kit is an environment for software development that is essential for developing Java applications as well as running them. It includes tools for testing programs. Many Java development kits are available for usage, such as Oracle, Open, IBM J9JDK, etc. The process of installing and setting up the Java development kit is easy and quick. Number 8. What is the Java runtime environment? The set of components required for developing and running a program is called Java runtime environment. It acts as a translator or a facilitator between the operating system and the Java program. It also provides a platform for creating and deploying Java applications. When you install the JRE on your computer, you can run Java applications without needing to compile the code yourself. The JRE interprets the Java code and executes it on your computer. Number 9. What is an ArrayList in Java? In Java, an ArrayList is a class that provides a resizable array implementation of the list interface. It allows you to store and manipulate a collection of elements in an ordered sequence. It doesn't need any specifications of size while creating. It also allows the user to access the list randomly. It is helpful in programs where a lot of manipulation is needed. Here is an example of an array list. In this example, we create an array list of strings and then add 3 elements to it using the add method. We then access elements in the array list using the get method, remove an element using the remove method, and loop through the remaining elements using a for each loop. Array lists are dynamic in size, meaning that they can grow or shrink as needed. This makes them a useful data structure for situations where you need to store a collection of elements that may change in size over time. Number 10. What is vector in Java? Vector is a kind of dynamic array 2-dimensional that can grow or shrink on its own. This means when elements are added to it, they will grow, and when elements are removed, they will reduce or shrink. A vector element can be accessed with the help of an integer index. Vectors are synchronized in nature. This means that a code can be accessed one thread at a time. Here's an example of how to create a vector in Java. In this example, we create a vector of strings, and then add 3 elements to it using the add method. We then access elements in the vector using the get method, remove an element using the remove method, and loop through the remaining elements using a for each loop. The key difference between the array list and the vector is that the vector is synchronized, which means that it is thread safe. This makes it useful for situations where you need to access and modify the vector from multiple threads at the same time. However, the synchronization also comes at a cost of performance, and in many cases, the array list may be a better choice if you don't need the synchronization. Number 11. What is HashMap in Java? A HashMap is a structure or a class, that is, responsible for storing key and value pairs. It provides a ground-level implementation of the Java interface. It also allows storing null keys. It cannot contain duplicate keys. There is no specific order of elements in HashMap. Here's an example of how to create a HashMap in Java. In this example, we create a HashMap with string keys and integer values, and then add 3 key value pairs to it using the put method. We then access values in the HashMap using the get method, remove a key value pair using the remove method, and loop through the remaining key value pairs using a for each loop and the keyset method. Hash maps are useful for situations where you need to store and access data quickly based on a key. They are particularly useful for situations where the dataset is large, since the Hashtable implementation allows for constant time access to individual elements, on average. However, it's important to note that the order of elements in a hash map is not guaranteed, since it depends on the internal Hashtable implementation. If you need to maintain the order of elements, you may want to consider using a linked hash map instead. Number 12. What is a hashtable in Java? In Java, a hashtable is a class that provides a way to store and manipulate a collection of key value pairs using a hash table data structure. Hashtable in Java consists of a list of arrays called a bucket. The position of the bucket is determined by calling the hashtable method, and it consists of unique elements. Unlike HashMap, hashtable is asynchronized, which means that it is thread safe and multiple threads can access it at the same time without causing any concurrency issues. It also doesn't allow null keys and values. In a hashtable, data is stored in an array list format, with a distinct index value for each data value. Here's an example of how to create a hashtable in Java. In this example, we create a hashtable with string keys and integer values, and then add 3 key value pairs to it using the put method. We then access values in the hashtable using the get method, remove a key value pair using the remove method, and loop through the remaining key value pairs using a for each loop and the keyset method. The key difference between the hashtable and the HashMap is that the hashtable is synchronized, which means that it is thread safe. This makes it useful for situations where you need to access and modify the hashtable from multiple threads at the same time. However, the synchronization also comes at a cost of performance, and in many cases, the HashMap may be a better choice if you don't need the synchronization. Number 13. What is a constructor in Java? Java consists of constructors used for constructing something in programs. It is a special method for the initialization of objects. The calling of the constructor is done after the creation of the class object. There are a few points to take care of regarding constructors. It does not have any return type. It can only be called once. It has to have the same name as the class in which it is defined. Number 14. What is an access modifier in Java? Access modifiers are keywords in Java that are used to access or restrict the scope of a class, variable, method, or constructor. Following are the types of access modifiers available in Java. When no modifier is specified for any class, method, or data member, the mode is called default mode. When the modifier is specified privately and is accessible only within a class, the mode is called private mode. When the modifier is specified publicly and is accessible from anywhere, the mode is called public mode. It has the widest scope among all the modifiers. There is no restriction on its usage. Number 15. What is a package in Java? A Java package is an organizer or a mechanism that encapsulates a group of sub-packages, classes, and interface. On a conceptual level, a package in Java can be considered similar to folders in the computer. It keeps Java classes by providing unique namespace for each of its types. In this way, it helps in the prevention of name conflicts. It groups according to the categories that can be accessed if put in the same package. Number 16. What is the main difference between a HashMap and a hashtable? A HashMap is non-synchronized while a hashtable is synchronized. A HashMap is not thread-safe and cannot be shared between many threads, unlike the hashtable. HashMap allows one null key and multiple null values, while hashtable does not allow any null key or value. HashMap is fast. HashMap is traversed by iterator, while hashtable is traversed by enumerator and iterator. HashMap inherits abstract map class, while hashtable inherits dictionary class. Number 17. What is an infinite loop in Java? An infinite loop in Java is a loop that runs indefinitely without stopping. This can happen when the loop condition is always true, or when the loop does not have a condition to terminate. Here's an example of an infinite loop in Java using a while loop. In this example, the while loop condition is always true, so the loop will continue to run indefinitely. Infinite loops can also occur with for loops, do-while loops, and recursion. It's important to be careful when writing loops to avoid creating infinite loops, as they can cause your program to hang or crash. It's a good practice to always include a way to exit the loop, either by setting a condition to false or by using a break statement. Number 18. What is Java string pool? A string pool is basically a storage area in a Java heap. It stores string literals. It works as a special memory area and also saves space from unnecessary memory usage. It copies each string for remembering so that there is no loss in case of an error. Number 19. What is constructor chaining in Java? Constructor chaining is a technique in Java where a constructor calls another constructor of the same class or its superclass to reuse code and simplify initialization. In Java, a class can have multiple constructors, and each constructor can have its own unique set of parameters. When a constructor is called, it initializes the object with the values passed as arguments. Constructor chaining allows a constructor to delegate the task of initializing some or all of the instance variables to another constructor in the same class or superclass. In order to chain constructors in Java, we use the this keyword to call another constructor in the same class or the super keyword to call a constructor in the superclass. The call to another constructor must be the first statement in the constructor body. Here is an example of constructor chaining in Java. In this example, the noArgument constructor calls the toArgument constructor using this keyword. This initializes the object with x and y values of 0. By chaining the constructors, we avoid duplicating the code in the two constructors and make it easier to maintain the code. Number 20. What is classloader in Java? In Java, a classloader is a part of the Java runtime environment JRE that loads Java classes into memory as they are needed by a Java program. When a Java program is executed, the classloader is responsible for locating and loading the classes that the program needs to run. The classloader searches for the class files in the class path, which is a list of directories and jar files that the JVM uses to look for classes. Java uses a hierarchical class loader system, where each class loader has a parent class loader. When a class is requested, the class loader first checks its own cache to see if the class has already been loaded. If the class is not found in its own cache, it delegates the request to its parent class loader, which in turn delegates it to its parent, and so on until the class is found or the root class loader is reached. There are 3 types of class loaders in Java. 1. Bootstrap class loader. This is the parent class loader of all class loaders and is responsible for loading the core Java classes located in the glib directory. 2. Extension class loader. This class loader is responsible for loading classes that are part of the JRE's extension mechanism. These classes are located in the glibx directory. 3. Application class loader. This class loader is responsible for loading the classes of the application being executed. It loads classes from the class path specified by the class path environment variable or the class path or CP command line options. Custom class loaders can also be created in Java to load classes from non-standard locations or to modify the behavior of the default class loaders. Overall, the class loader in Java plays a crucial role in loading classes into memory and ensuring that they are available for use by a Java program. Number 21. What is a map in Java? In Java, a map is an interface that represents a collection of key-value pairs. A map cannot contain duplicate keys, and each key can map to at most one value. The most commonly used implementation of the map interface in Java is the HashMap class, which uses a hash table to store the key-value pairs. Other implementations include tree map, linked HashMap, and concurrent HashMap. Here's an example of creating a HashMap and adding some key-value pairs. In this example, we create a new HashMap object with keys of type string and values of type integer. We then use the put method to add some key-value pairs to the map. We can retrieve the value associated with a key using the get method. In this example, we retrieve the value associated with the banana key and store it in the value variable. Maps also provide methods for iterating over the keys or values in the map, as well as checking if a key or value is present in the map. Additionally, maps can be used to efficiently look up values based on their associated keys, making them useful for a wide range of programming tasks. Number 22. What are heap and memory stacks in Java? In Java, the memory is divided into 2 main areas, the heap and the stack. The heap is a region of memory used for dynamic memory allocation. It is used to allocate memory for objects and arrays that are created at runtime. The JVM manages the heap, and it automatically allocates and deallocates memory as needed. The heap is shared among all threads in a Java program, and objects in the heap can be accessed from anywhere in the program. The stack is a region of memory used for static memory allocation. It is used to store local variables and method call frames. When a method is called, a new frame is pushed onto the stack, and when the method returns, the frame is popped off the stack. This makes the stack a last-in, first-out LIFO data structure. The stack is thread-specific, and each thread in a Java program has its own stack. This means that local variables and method call frames are only accessible to the thread that created them. Here's an example of how the heap and stack are used in Java. In this example, the X variable is allocated on the stack, while the message string is allocated on the heap. The numbers array and example object are also allocated on the heap. Understanding the differences between the heap and stack is important for writing efficient and correct Java programs. By properly managing the memory on the heap and stack, developers can ensure that their programs are optimized for performance and reliability. Number 23. What is a variable in Java? A container responsible for holding the value when the Java program is being executed is termed a variable. We can also say that a variable is a memory location name for the data. Each variable is assigned a specific type of data that designates the value it will hold. There are broadly two types of data: static and instance. Number 24. What is data encapsulation in Java? The process of bundling, binding, putting together data that belongs to work in a single unit is called data encapsulation. This is similar to a class in Java. Elements with similar properties and functions are treated as a single unit here. The major advantage of data encapsulation is that the users can decide whether the access to the data should be private or public. This process is called data hiding. Number 25. Why pointers are not used in Java? There are two primary reasons that pointers are not used in Java: security and complexity. Pointers variables refer directly to the memory address location of data, which makes security significantly weaker in the case of pointers. If someone gets access to the memory address locations, they can make any modifications they want, resulting in a loss of security. Additionally, pointers are hard to understand because of their complex nature, and this can make Java code more challenging. Therefore, Java has eliminated the feature of pointers because it is a very simple language that focuses on code simplicity. Number 26. Why is Java preferred over other programming languages? There are many reasons why Java is an extremely popular programming language and why it is preferred over others. Some of them are: it comes with a library that contains a variety of classes. Its functions are the most utilized, without which the language cannot function. It has been around so long, and it keeps updating its features and functions with respect to the trends and demands of the developers. Longevity is in its nature, and it is even capable of compiling codes written years ago. It is the first programming language for most developers and is relevant for any type of application. It is consistently faster and more efficient. It has a strong, loyal, and thriving base community that contributes majorly to its success. It has a legacy when it comes to developing applications, especially for big names in enterprises and companies. There is an automatic garbage collection in Java. Number 27. What is an array? In Java, an array is a collection of elements of the same data type, arranged in contiguous memory locations. An array provides a way to store a fixed-size collection of elements of the same type. Arrays in Java are declared using square brackets. Here's an example. In this example, we declare an array of integers named numbers and initialize it with 5 values. We can access the elements of an array using the index of the element. The index starts at 0 for the first element and goes up to length -1 for the last element. Here's an example. In this example, we use the square bracket notation to access the first and last elements of the numbers array. Arrays in Java have a fixed size, which means that once an array is created, its size cannot be changed. If you need a resizable collection of elements, you can use one of Java's collection classes, such as ArrayList. Arrays are a fundamental data structure in Java and are used extensively in many programming tasks, such as sorting, searching, and storing data. That is all for today. Thank you for watching the YQ Academy tutorial. If you liked our video, please subscribe for more videos like this. Until next time, goodbye.